how can we thrive as executives, as leaders, as human beings, so that we can lead, operate, live from the highest state of our performance, of our potential, and what comes alongside energy and consciousness. I want to go in this episode beyond what we already most likely know. I want to focus on three things: how you set up yourself to be and operate and lead from this great state of energy, potential, and ultimately consciousness. Two, how you can sustain that high level of energy state during the day and during the weeks, and even if they are challenging times. And three, how you can evolve and grow your potential to the next level so that you can enjoy even more ease and flow in leading your organization, your team, and your life to the next desired level, and obviously being fulfilled and joyful and balanced. And I want to go beyond topics related to physical energy, which I would say probably you already know about, and which is also the common sense, I would say, to take care about your sleep, your diet, intake of water, and physical movement, which of course are very important, fueling your physical energy, but also mental and emotional energy. And I want to focus on those other topics that are very, very important, where I find myself contributing a lot to leaders that I work with, which are impacting your energy level, your emotional, mental, and spiritual, and of course, fueling your performance potential and the way you show up, the way you lead, and with what ease you actually create results and impact in your business and beyond, and obviously live that happy and joyful life. A couple of months ago, I came across an interesting article that was comparing athletes, sport athletes, with executives. And I think the title was "You Are a Corporate Athlete." And in that comparison, they were looking at how long is the duration of a career of an athlete, a sport athlete, and executives, how many hours they work per week, and obviously how do they set up themselves to be those two different professions, to be really operating from the highest state of performance and potential. And the underlying message from that newsletter or article was that there is a fundamental, huge difference between how much time and how much support executives and athletes are allowing themselves and creating for themselves to be operating really on this higher state of performance and potential and energy. And so what brought me here or brings me here is to ask you directly a question: how much time and how much, space and how much support you create for setting yourself and sustaining and being, operating, leading, living on your highest potential, on the highest vibration of energy, and how much time do you create for setting yourself in the right state, for maintaining that state, who is supporting you to evolve in that game of performing on the highest level. And especially when you are an executive who is either leading the whole organization or a functional organization in a bigger corporate structure, then you have probably a lot of expectations, a lot of complex decisions to take during the day, and a lot of responsibility on your plate. And for you being and leading and operating from the highest state of your potential and performance and in flow really, really, really matters. And first of all, it matters for, the expectations to your role, obviously, to deliver results and drive your organization to the next desired level. But it also matters for you, for your well-being, for how you feel every day. And of course, this is fueling your performance, the way you feel about yourself and which state you operate from. And of course, it matters on what impact then you are making within the organization itself, but also outside, yeah? within your communities, within your families. So this topic of being and leading, operating, living on a higher states of energy, performance, potential, consciousness is absolutely important on so many different levels for us as leaders. When we use the term operating on a peak performance, flow, we actually talk about being on high vibration of our energy. And you probably have heard me saying that everything is energy, and there are even 2 episodes in this podcast talking about energy. So really, this being and leading and living on a high states of energy, high frequency of energy, is the state when we actually find ourselves in flow and everything is easy. We are experiencing feeling unstoppable. We are confident. We are having a lot of different ideas, and we can come up with solutions very easily. We can take actions effortlessly. This is a state where also we are highly connected with our intuition and breakthrough thinking. This is also a state from which we can make the best desired impact and make people feel more connected and inspired by yourself and bring people to more unity and collaboration within your organization, and of course feel fulfilled. So it's a very, very nice state to live from, and this is where we feel more fulfilled and bliss and joy and ease. And this is also a state where our mind is really very calm and very quiet, and we really are in inner alignment within ourselves, between our mind and our heart. And this is where the magic happens. So I'm sure that you already had moments or periods in your life, in your daily life, or where you feel that way. And you may want to ask yourself the question, how often are you in that higher state of energy, so-called peak performance, flow? How often are you in those states during the day? And if you don't know the answer yet, that is a good start to observe yourself on a daily basis to find out how often are you in those states, because that is going to give you the very first indication of from which state you are actually operating. And you probably also know how it is to operate on so-called lower emotional or lower frequencies of energy states and so-called lower performance. It's where we do not experience much flow and ease. And in contrary, in those lower level of energy, and I'm not talking about physical energy, but also mental, emotional, and spiritual, we feel things are difficult. We sometimes even procrastinate. We sometimes even lack the physical energy. This is where we stress, where we go in overthinking, or we don't feel fully confident about ourselves. This is also about a state that things are not happening easily. We encounter many different obstacles and challenges on the way. We're judging ourselves, we're criticizing ourselves, we're doubting ourselves. And life is just so much heavy and busy and hectic. So this is now maybe a good moment to ask yourself, what is my dominant state? Where am I spending most of my time on a daily basis? Not on vacation, but when you come back to normal life and work situation. Again, this will give you an indication which state of energy you are in and how much more you might need to pay attention and create structure, create habits, and prioritize, really grow of yourself so that you can step to this higher level of energy and potential yourself and operate more sustainably from a peak performance and flow. So now, how do you do that? So let me share with you a couple of ideas that and practices or habits, if you like, that are definitely going to help you with. So first, let's focus on how can you set yourself in that high peak state, high vibrational state on a daily basis. And it all starts with your morning routine, with what you do in the morning. And ultimately, what you do after waking up, because that's the most important time or the best time, if you like, to set yourself for ultimate state in your day. This is where you are in so-called alpha states of your brain. Your subconscious mind is very subjective at that time. And as you know, 95% of how you show up, decisions you take, actions, thoughts, behaviors, feelings is driven by your subconscious. So this is a gateway time that you have to make the biggest impact on your state and potential even to rewire some of your subconscious autopilot programs. So how do you do that? Well, I want to share with you three important things, three important habits that I use almost every day and I lean on and I bring to my clients. One is gratitude. Embrace the habit of gratitude. And there are a lot of studies, scientific studies made how powerful is this habit for setting yourself in a positive state, for your well-being, for your mental health, for your relationships, for feeling good about the life and about yourself. And I wonder if you know that actually this simple habit can literally help you rewire yourself. Rewire yourself to embrace life and challenging that you are experiencing with more ease, flow, and positively. By embracing the habit of gratitude, you're basically training your muscle of being more positive in life and even noticing the positive things in your life. And why is that important? It's important because we are conditioned, biologically we're conditioned to see more of the negative things rather than positive things. So the gratitude helps us really to gain more balance and walk through the life with more positive energy and positive perspective of appreciation. And, you cannot be in energy of gratitude and energy of stress at the same time. So it's one of those super, super important energetic elevators, if you like, this power of gratitude and helping you also to develop this muscle and rewire yourself inside and be more positive on a daily basis. Number 2 habit is about being intentional. I can probably talk for hours about being intentional, but for the purpose of this episode, I want to highlight to you this. Your brain is like a computer. What you tell it, it's going to execute. And it all starts with intentions that you set to yourself. So choose your day. Choose how you want to show up in your day. Choose your focus in the morning by setting yourself an intention. You can ask yourself in the morning, what do you want to celebrate at the end of the day? You can even envision end of the day and see how you're going to celebrate it. And of course, through that, sharpen the focus on the day. You can also ask yourself, how do you want to show up in a day? It will again help you to keep a focus on how do you want to be, feel, and show up in this day. It's such a powerful habit to create. And again, starting that in the morning will really set you to greatest results during the day and will keep you focused and realize far more with more ease during the day. And number 3 is connect with the purpose and your vision. You see, everything starts from the end goal in mind. You are here for a reason. And if you haven't yet defined your vision, then it will be the ultimate time to do so. And vision where you see where your life and leadership and your organization going. Vision for yourself or what kind of leader you want to be more of. Once you have that mental and emotional picture, you can connect with it every single day. And by doing so, with open and closed eyes, whichever you prefer, and there are many different techniques that I bring to my clients how to do that, you allow yourself to set yourself in state of living in that vision already, being that version of yourself already, and aligning so-called energetically with showing up, leading, living, operating from the state of who you want to be, rather who you are now. So these 3 are really going to fuel your day if you start to embrace gratitude, setting intention, and connecting with your purpose and vision on a daily basis. They have really tremendously helped me to start the day really empowered, inspired, and elevated in my state. And so, of course, many clients that I accompany with them. Maybe it's a good time also to remind you that if you don't have a vision yet, then on my website, you can find a self-paced resource that you can purchase so that you can create with that your tangible vision of what you want or who you want to be more of, which will be in alignment with who you really, really, truly want to be, with alignment with your true self and your greatest potential. So check it out as well. After we set our state in the morning, what do we do during the day? How do we sustain that level of energy and state, mental, emotional, spiritual state during the day? Well, maintaining your peak performance is all about maintaining your energy. And in order to maintain your energy on those different levels, you want to create some balanced moments during the day. You want to create so-called mindful breaks. Mindful breaks in which your brain is slowing down. Because ultimately, when you go in your day with many different, tasks, meetings, decisions that you are taking, and maybe challenges that you are, and problems that you are solving, your brain is going from alpha to beta states waves. And you are basically operating faster, right? Your brain is thinking faster. It's a faster wave. And if you operate all the time on that wave, on that beta state, you at some moment are going to use your mental and emotional capability and capacity. You're going to be drained. And there are even, pictures of a scan. If they do a scans of a brain, that I've seen once, a very interesting scans of a brain that shows how our brain looks like with and without breaks. And without breaks, it's just basically, a very cluttered brain. And that's why we start to get more tired. It's harder to think. And we start even to procrastinate or overthink or doubt ourselves. So we don't want to go there, right? If we want to operate from ease, joy, flow, high performance, and, best impact and feel good about ourselves, then we want to plan those mindful breaks during the day where we actually start to slow down our brain waves and go into enjoying some of those alpha brain waves during the day. So how do we do that? Well, it starts with creating mindful breaks in your agenda during which you don't go and, look at your social or other email box and, do something with your electronics, but you actually allow yourself to have a break for your brain. And how do you do that? There are many, many different ways. The way I love to bring to my clients is based on positive intelligence and mental fitness, because there is a lot of science behind it, which is helping also to establish consistently those habits of managing our mind and emotions effectively. But if I give you here one or two ideas, is first, you can actually do breathing exercises. So you can allow yourself to take a couple of minutes of closing your eyes or keeping them open and breathing slower, because this is basically perhaps pumping oxygen to your brain and slows down your brain waves and also clear a bit your mind. And the second thing what you can do is when you, for example, even combine it with walk, you can move if you have this opportunity and, be in nature. And the third thing what you can do is, of course, short-term meditations. Body scan is a very famous meditation or mindful meditation that can help you with that. Those are some ideas that you can do during the day, among many others, that will help you to refuel your energy. And especially I'm talking about the mental and emotional energy here. Of course, apart from nourishing yourself, taking breaks for food and drinking plenty of water, it keeps you also in the ultimate state of performance. So take those conscious, mindful breaks where you give your mind a break, and when you can realign, reach your energy states and energy level. And that's also the moments where you can check in with yourself. How do I feel? And how is my energy now? So use those different moments 4 times during a day. It's ultimately a great time. And you can also do 2 minutes before important meetings or before meetings. There are many different ways how to enter it. So do plan those breaks during the day so that you don't end up running on an empty fuel at the end of the day and coming home being completely exhausted and needing maybe a couple of days to recover. And I know that for leaders who are driven, who are ambitious, who are, having the greatest visions and goals that they want to pursue with their teams and in their lives, it actually can be one of the hardest things. And I know it because this is also the pattern that I've been challenged with. Pattern of not taking breaks and working almost nonstop and ending up with being drained at some stage. And this is why putting this conscious effort has been and is my very conscious effort, important activity during the day. And what you might want to know is that actually the reason why driven, ambitious, and go-getters get more and more, a challenge with it is because we are running also called hyperachiever, saboteur. And this is one of the saboteurs that brings this narrative that it's never enough and we need to work hard to get there. And many other narratives that keep us stuck in doing more. And if you're interested in explore more about the mind saboteurs, because there are 10 of them, then go and check another episode, which is already there, which is directly focusing on so-called mental fitness and also introduce you to this whole concept of saboteurs and what does it even mean and how to switch. And definitely I love to bring that mental fitness from positive intelligence to my programs such as Embody Extraordinary Leader from Within, which is the flagship program of extraordinary leadership, where it is supporting you with breaking through these and many other habits that are preventing you or standing in the way from leading and living from a higher state of your energy potential and performance. So it's really, really important. So to sustain your energy during the day and be in a peak performance, plan your conscious breaks, mindful breaks, so that you don't run empty at the end. And the third and last that I want to address is the aspect of evolving your energy, evolving your potential, evolving in your performance. Now, why is that important? So I want to be very transparent with you. And transparency means telling you that actually the reason why we struggle with not operating on a more consistent basis on the higher performance and flow and ease and energy is very rarely related with the fact that we don't know what we need to do. You see, I'm sure that listening to this episode, you have heard at least about some of these ideas already. The question is, are you implementing them? And if not, why not? Well, and here comes the bad truth. We 95% of the time run on autopilot. Autopilot driven by our subconscious program that has been developed very early on in our childhood. And in this, we have a lot of limiting beliefs or other inner limitations that are holding us back from operating on a higher potential performance and energy level. We carry a lot of suppressed emotions that we haven't worked through the life that also hinders us from being on a high level of energy. And our triggers are representation of programs deeply wired in our subconscious, in our body, in our mind that we have developed over the years and we are not having so-called control over. This is the reason why we are not operating consistently from a highest level of energy, peak performance, not being in flow and ease most of our days and most of our lives, not being fully fulfilled, happy, and successful at the same time, and impactful, of course, as leaders. So the most important for you as a leader, apart from establishing those wonderful habits that I've been talking about, is to prioritize and put a conscious efforts and resources and invest in resources into that so-called inner work, into transforming from within, into understanding, first of all, of course, your patterns and behaviors that hold you back, and more precisely, into rewiring, transforming those limiting beliefs. And through that, of course, rewiring the auto-programming that you have inside so that you can show up differently, more energized, and operate from the highest level of your potential and performance, making a desired impact and living a fulfilled life. And this is why I created Embody Extraordinary Leadership from Within, the flagship program of extraordinary leadership, so that you can step into the higher level of potential, greatness, performance, impact, and be consistently in those highly flow of energy and performance for yourself, for your organization, for your families, and in your life. So if you haven't checked that yet, maybe now is the time to check it out and give yourself a go. And that concludes what I wanted to share with you today. And I hope that I inspired you to start tomorrow and boost your current habits or start your new habits that I shared with you today. I'm very curious to hear which of those you are intrigued, inspired to start, to test, to bring in your life that are going to serve you and obviously your team and your life and your family and all of that. Remember, you are a corporate athlete, and as such, operating on a highest state of performance and potential and energy matters. First of all, for yourself, but equally for your organization, your team, and for your family. Thank you for watching today. If you like it, subscribe to this channel, share it with others, comment what you take away, what you liked, and I'm wishing you a fantastic day. And as usual, be the change that you want to see and choose to be an extraordinary leader.